Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you. Sometimes I feel like saying, Lord, I just don't care. But you've got the love I need to see me through. Sometimes it seems the going is just too rough, and things go wrong no matter what I do. Now and then it seems that life is just too much, but you've got the love I need to see me through. When food is gone, you are my daily meal. When friends are gone, I know my Saviour's love is real. Your love is real. Time after time, I think, oh Lord, what's the use? Time after time, I think it's just no good. Because sooner or later in life, the things you love you lose. But you've got the love I need to see me through. Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air, because I know I can count on you. Sometimes I feel like saying, Lord, I just don't care. But you've got the love I need to see me through. You've got the love.
Now, when Lois and I's relationship was relatively new, I wasn't really sure whether I was truly accepted by Helen and Charlie. After all, I'm clearly nae farmer. But for Lois and I's second Christmas together, we thought it'd be a good idea to host. Helen and Charlie came through in the morning and we started on the bubbles. All hell broke loose. I got the blame for not putting the oven on at the right temperature, and subsequently ruining Christmas. So the next morning, Lois turned to me and she said, I think my mum likes you. I was like, really? Well, why? And she said, well, remember the oven incident? I was like, yes, I remember that. Well, when my mum got you out of the room, she turned to me, she grabbed me and said, stop it or he will leave. So thank you, Helen, because today might not have happened. So after this, I thought I must be doing all right, but Charlie wasn't totally convincing either. This didn't really come till I was asking for his permission to marry Lois. We arranged, as he said, a secret meet-up chat at the Palm Court, and then after making some small talk, I eventually plucked up the courage. I started my little speech about how Lois and I's relationship had developed, but before I could even stop, he started rubbing his hands like this, and he goes, are you tucking it off my hands? I said, well, if that's all right with you.
I don't think I've so much as lost a daughter but gained a son. In fact, another whole family with the Kilmans. Thank you. So what have you taken on, Scott? Well, difficult child. Very difficult adolescent. And adults, she's all yours. It's okay, I'm not finished. As I'm sure most of you know, she works for the Leith Quarry Group down in Cove, driving a loading shovel. Well, somebody said that's what's what you do.
Good money for doing that.
Good money for doing that, she says. Well. So the rest's almost history, but never mind. I got a text from Scott one day, and he said, could we meet up in Aberdeen for a wee chat someday from your passing through? I said, yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm thinking, yes, he's going to propose. So there's a few days between, and I began to think, I hope he's not going to hand her back. Never mind, he did the honourable thing and asked for her hand in marriage, and we're chuffed to bits, going to be happy. So welcome to the family, to the whole Kelman family. And, well, one thing I meant to say at the beginning, this wasn't part of my speech, but a big thank you for your organisation today. Fantastic. To you and your pals. I mean, you've been at it since 6 o'clock as well, so well done to you. Okay. So, just before I sit down, can I ask you all to charge your glasses and be upstanding for a toast to bride and groom, and may all their troubles be little ones. Okay, thank you.
But before I go on to others, I'd like to personally thank my gorgeous wife for firstly turning up, but everything she has done in making today wonderful. I think you'll all agree she looks absolutely incredible today. Some would even say like a unicorn. For those that don't know, Olivia described Lois in her dress as a unicorn.
So I asked the couple to tell me not only what made them fall in love, but also decide they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. And Scott told me, Lois is very caring, thoughtful and considerate. The way she is with Ace and all her nephews and nieces make me know that she'll be an amazing mum. She's fun and fun-loving. She's always willing to try new things and is up for a laugh. She has her doubts and underestimates herself, but she's a very smart and intelligent woman with a strong head. She excites me and she keeps me on my toes. I never want to let her down, he said, although I do stumble at times. But she also loves to travel and knows how to pick the best places to go. Her satellite navigation skills, unnatural ability to navigate anywhere. She says she has magnets. The first coil represents Lois's love for Scott, and the second coil represents Scott's love for Lois. Just wait till I finish. Scott, will you offer Lois your love and respect today and always? Will you miss her madly when you are far and hold her close when you are near? Will you provide for her needs and protect her from harm? Laugh with her, cry with her, reason with her when reason works, and laugh with her when reason doesn't. And will you be her faithful partner in life, her one true love, and her best friend?
Yes.
I will.
I will.
Trust in the arms that hold you near. Open your heart, you know there will be.
And Lois, will you offer Scott your love and respect today and always? Will you miss him madly when you are far and hold him close when you are near? Will you provide for his needs and protect him from harm? Laugh with him and cry with him, reason with him when reason works, and laugh with him when reason doesn't. And will you be his faithful partner in life, his one true love, and his best friend? Lois and Scott, hold tight to what your words of commitment represent and remember the promises that you have made today. They have far more meaning than just the words themselves. Lois, what do you love about Scott? He reminds me of my dad. He can fix pretty much anything, or he thinks he can. He always seeks to find a more efficient way to do things. My friends love him. My friends can be really hally-racket at times, and I think Scott enjoys their ways. And he would do anything for anyone. He always goes out of his way to help friends, especially if it involves a trip in his van. He just loves his van, apparently.
I do like my van.
He's reliable, he's trusting and hardworking, and his attention to detail and patience is marvellous. I'm not the most patient of people, said Lois, and I would rush into things, but he's a very sensible one and he reins me back in. And he's also very, very good at wrapping presents, so he's handy to have about. He bought me a dog, which then required a house, and the rest is history, as they say. But I also like the silly voices he uses to speak to Ace. It's weird, especially in public, but I do love it.
Trust in the arms that hold you near. Open your heart and know.
May your home be a place of happiness for all who enter it. A place where the old and the young are renewed in each other's company. A place for growing and a place for sharing. A place for music, a place for laughter, and a place for love. Lois and Scott, now that you are married, go forward in your life together with the warm good wishes of all of us here today. We wish you much happiness, but may life smile upon you and may all of your days together be as joyful as today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to present to you Lois and Scott, who are now officially Mr. and Mrs. Kelman.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Andrew, and I'm Craig's best man. Sorry, Scott's best man. And as he's already alluded to in many ways, I too was surprised by his choice. I have no organisational skills to speak of, an abject fear of public speaking, and I know everything that he's got up to in the last 20 or so years. However, in the lead up to the wedding, with the facials, with the beauty products, with the carefully timed haircuts and sunbed sessions, I realised he's just needing somebody to make him look good in his photographs. Now, Scott and I weren't friends straight away. I don't actually recall the first time that I met him. But Dice Academy wasn't a big place, and so I knew who he was, and I knew him to be popular with everyone. I knew him to be naturally good at everything that he did, and he was always decked out in whatever brand clothing was on trend. Essentially, I thought he was a prick. But once Lois had entered Scott's life, it was clear that something had changed, and the Kelminator had been tamed. Now, Scott is many things to many people. To me, he's a best friend. He's someone who is dependable, he's loyal, and he's kind. He's a grafter, and he's somebody who will do anything to help a friend in need. Lois, you were kind, you were loving, you were caring, and you were warm. With Ace. You quickly became a friend in your own right. You're always beautiful, but especially so today. I was sat in a bar with Scott and Lois last August, and Lois came out with, when you think about it, there's actually not that much to planning a wedding. Now, I took note of this seemingly naive remark because I was sure there would be some bridezilla meltdown moment further down the line that I could use to push it back on her. But instead, I'm using it here today because it demonstrates that when you're with the right person and when you're both pulling the rope in the same direction, you see things differently to other people. The things that seem daunting to them are exciting to you. The challenges are not to be feared. They're to be overcome and thrived upon. Scott and Lois are a team. And like any good team, they accomplish far more together than they ever could as individuals. They're like Real Madrid in 2014. Now anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, so without further ado, Scott and Lois. While I have no doubt you will share a long, happy and healthy life together, let me still wish you the best of luck. And ladies and gentlemen, can I ask that you please be upstanding once more? Raise your glasses to Scott and Lois.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you to come away from the bar a wee bit. Please put your hands together for the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Kelman.
When it hurts just to breathe, when you're down on your knees, you can call on me, and I'll send you wings so you can meet me on the moon tonight. And I'll send you wings so you can meet me on the moon tonight. Round and around again we go. Round and around again we go. We're going round and round and round again. We're going up and down until the end. We're going round and round until we meet again. When you're lost and out of reach, when you feel in the fall, you can hold on to me. If I could only live inside your kiss, all the things I would give to you. If I could only live inside your kiss, all the things I would give to you. Round and around again we go. Round and around again we go. We're going round and round again. We're going up and down until the end. We're going round and round until we meet again.
I often ask Lois, who do you love more, me or little Ace? And she always says, it's a different kind of love. Which basically means, nay you. Now, knowing that Lois wouldn't be keen on any grand gesture or public display, I thought of a low-key proposal involving Ace and this cuddly toy that resembles a diamond ring. I finally got my opportunity. Lois had been out the night before and was extremely hungover on the sofa. So I psyched up Ace, got the real ring and gave him the toy. Little Ace bolted down the stairs, keen to get the job done. I chased him down to the living room where Lois gave us into trouble as this was not helping her sore head. I said, "What's that in Ace's mouth?" Lois sat up concerned and then said, "I think it's a ring." With Lois now completely confused. Handbag. She thought it was a handbag. I went down on one knee and asked if she'd marry me. And After all the oh my gods, laugh crying, she eventually said yes. Eh? Oh, she never said yes. Abort.
I think I said yes.
Did you not? Okay.
Yes, I
Did you say yes now? We'll tell them all to go.
I, Scott, vow to love you, Lois,
I, Scott, vow to love you, Lois,
and care for you,
and care for you
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
I promise to encourage and inspire you,
I promise to encourage and inspire you,
to laugh with you and comfort you.
to laugh with you and comfort you.
I take you,
I take you
with all your faults and all your strengths,
with all your faults and all your strengths,
as I offer myself to you,
as I offer myself to you
with my faults and my strengths.
with my faults and my strengths.
I promise to cherish you
I promise to cherish you
and to always hold you in the highest regard.
and to always hold you in the highest regard.
These things I give to you now and forever.
These things I give to you for now and forever.
I, Scott,
I, Scott,
accept you, Lois,
accept you, Lois,
in marriage
in marriage
to be my lawfully wedded wife.
to be my lawfully wedded wife.
This is it.
Like a glove.
I, Lois, vow to love you, Scott,
I, Lois, vow to love you, Scott,
and care for you
and care for you
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
I promise to encourage and inspire you,
I promise to encourage and inspire you,
to laugh with you
to laugh with you
and comfort you.
and comfort you.
I take you
I take you
with all your faults and your strengths,
with all your faults and your strength.
as I offer myself to you
As I offer myself to you,
with my faults and my strengths.
my faults and my strength.
I promise to cherish you
I promise to cherish you
and to always hold you in the highest regard.
and to always hold you in the highest regard.
These things I give to you now and forever.
These things I give to you now and forever.
I, Lois,
I, Lois,
accept you, Craig, in marriage. I beg your pardon. I, Lois, accept you, Scott, in marriage
I, Lois, accept you, Scott, in marriage
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawfully wedded husband.
and slip the ring on
Oh!
and hold hands.
I first met Lois at the Big Beach Ball Festival and I instantly knew she was special. As the humanist pointed out today, Rachel, the bridesmaid, a mutual friend, was taking far too long to set us up, so I just added her on Facebook after waiting about 24 hours. Smooth. For our first date, we went to Ciao Napoli. We got on incredibly well. We had a lot in common. She was a country quine and farmer's daughter like my mum. And I remember sitting there and thinking, my God, this is her. I've met the girl I'm going to marry. We didn't really go on a second date. I pretty much just moved into Lois's flat. Oh God. I should have been paying Charlie rent. Lois. As I mentioned earlier, I knew you were the one from our first date, if not our first brief encounter we had at the Big Beach Ball. You're an amazing girl who is so intelligent, caring and fun, not to mention incredibly beautiful. Much like my failed proposal attempts, our lives aren't always easy, but as a team, we get over the bumps. I'm extremely proud and privileged to now call you my wife, and with that, I propose to you and everyone here that I will cherish and care for you for the rest of my life. I love you with all my heart, and I look forward to our married life together. I'd like for you all to be upstanding as I propose a toast to my amazing and incredibly beautiful wife, Lois.
Lois and Scott, by virtue of the declarations you have made in my presence, and in the presence of both your witnesses and guests, I have much pleasure in declaring you married. You are now husband and wife, and I invite you to share a kiss.